Hey, 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 hey. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well today. It's Monday 99. Let me get myself together while I'm waiting on you all. Hey, hey. How's everybody's day today? Monday. It was a Monday. Anybody else besides me have a Monday that was a Monday? Got about 1 minute. Then we'll rock and roll. Will somebody capture for me Isaiah 54:2? Pretty please. Isaiah 54:2. And then we'll be ready to go at 9. Hey everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's 9 o'clock. That's what my alarm said. Thank you for getting that for me. Isaiah 54:2. So Isaiah 54:2 says, enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch out the curtains of your dwelling. Spare not. Lengthen your cords and strengthen your pegs. I know that's a little odd scripture for us, generally for what we do here on Monday 9 at 9, but I wanted to make sure that we had a scripture that would give us some meat for what we're looking for tonight. So Isaiah 54:2 says, enlarge the place of your tent, stretch out the curtains of your dwelling, spare not, lengthen your cords and strengthen your pegs. And so this scripture, just so we can kind of get into context of what it's talking about, this scripture is talking about the Lord's promises to Jerusalem. And so when it was talking about the tents, when it says stretch out the curtains of your dwelling, so the curtains were the walls of the tent, and you could leave them slack, but make your tent smaller, or you could widen them and stretch them out and make your tent bigger. And that's what the Lord was telling them. He said, don't leave any slack. He said, stretch them out, because he was about to send an increase in Jerusalem. Let me check on my Facebook, folks, over here, make sure we're rolling right, because I can't see any comments. Just want to make sure everything's okay. If Facebook is not working, somebody let me know. So he was telling them, but he was about to send the increase. Hey, Roger. And so tonight I want to talk about never say what you won't do. Don't say what you won't do. When we're talking about, when we're looking for God to do something, when we're looking for God to increase. Did you say go Giants, Roger? Thank you. Don't say what you won't do. Don't say what you won't do, because God may require more of you than you've ever done before. The scripture said, enlarge the place of your tent. So when we say don't say what we won't do, because God may require us to go further. He may require us to push ourselves beyond the point where we normally stop. We usually have a point where we normally stop. At the end of the week, we do a certain amount of work. We put in a certain amount of effort. But God may require us to go beyond where we usually stop. God may require us to go harder than we've ever gone before. With a greater intensity, with a greater drive, with more determination. Don't say what you won't do, because God may require more from us than we've ever given of ourselves before. He might require us to go further. He might require us to go harder. And then God might require us to go with more consistency, because Listen, sometimes we don't want to be consistent. It might take a long time, and it might take a whole lot of doing what God said for us to do over and over, and what we said we would do. And we may have to do that for a long time before we actually see that increase. But don't say what you won't do. Don't say that you're not going to wait on God. Don't say that I'm not going to wait on God, because God may require me to do what he said do more consistently for a longer period of time. God was telling Jerusalem that he was going to enlarge the place of their tent. But when he told them that, he gave them some instructions for some things that they were going to have to do. So don't say what you won't do. God said, don't call on me and ask me something and then tell me what you are not going to do, because I might require more of you than I ever have before. The other thing, don't say what we won't do, because God may require a sacrifice beyond what we think we're capable of giving. God may require a sacrifice beyond what we think we are capable of sacrificing. That's where God said, spare not. Remember, the text told them to enlarge their tents, but he told them, spare not, not to leave any slack, to stretch it out. He said, yeah, I'm gonna enlarge the walls of your tent. So God may require a sacrifice of me beyond what I have ever had to sacrifice before. And that's rough. See, we don't like sacrifice, but it says spare not. Spare not. That means leave nothing on the table. Listen, when we think that God is pushing us to do too much, anybody besides me ever thought God was pushing you to do too much, or that God was asking too much? Yeah, I have thought that before. But the thing that I've got to remember is that God knows me better than I know myself. So if he's telling me to make that sacrifice, that's because he knows that I have the capability, the capacity, the enablement, the strength, the power to be able to give the sacrifice, to commit to what he is telling me to do. God knows you better than you know you. And you've been knowing you a long time, but God knows you better than you know you. And if he is saying that this is a sacrifice that he wants, then that's because he knows that within you there is the capacity to make that sacrifice. If God requires it, then we can do it. If God requires it, then we can do it. Come on and repeat after me. Somebody come on and type this for me and say, it's in me. It's in me. Yeah, whatever God is asking that you've never seen your own self do. Like, God, you're asking me to be a whole character that I've never seen. You've asked me to have some tenacity that I've never known myself to have. You've asked me to have a level of forgiveness, a depth of love that I've never had before. But God said, yeah, it's in you. I put it in you. I know it's in you, and I'm not asking you for something that I did not equip you and build you to have. That's deep right there. If God said it, then he requires me to do it because he has equipped me. He made me. So he knows what's in me. Don't say what you won't do. Because God may require more than we've ever done before. Don't say what we won't do, because God may require something that's a sacrifice beyond what we're capable of giving. And then lastly, we only got 3 minutes. Don't say what you won't do, because God might want us to shift in a way that challenges what you believe about yourself. See, the last thing that many of us want to do is change. I'm raising my hand. The last thing that we want to do is change. But sometimes when God is requiring something of us, if he is trying to stretch us, this is the part of the scripture where it says that we need to spare not, that we need to stretch ourselves, enlarge our territory. God may require some things. Yep, you right there with me, Kelly. He might require us to change course. Sometimes you got to take a turn. Has God ever required anybody to take a turn? Yeah, sometimes we have to take a turn. Sometimes we got to turn back, and sometimes we got to turn another way. Turning back, that's rough. Turning another way from what we thought, that's difficult. God may require us to change course. He may require us to change dreams. God told me to tell the people tonight, once a dream does not mean always a dream. That's some grown-up mess for the Lord to say. Once a dream does not mean always a dream. Change course, change dreams, change perspective. We want to think about things, life, relationships, the future, the same way that we have always thought about them. Listen, God said, I'm about to send an increase in your Jerusalem. I'm about to send an increase in your Jerusalem. Enlarge the place of your tent. Enlarge your dreams. Enlarge your expectations. Don't tell me what you're not going to do. I'm about to send increase in your Jerusalem. Enlarge your effort. Enlarge your press. I'm about to send an increase in your Jerusalem. Don't tell me what you won't do. Spare not. Enlarge your praise to your tent. Spare not. Go until you cannot go any further. Go until you have nothing left to give. Go until God says, that's enough. Don't tell me what you won't do. God said, don't tell me what you're not going to do. I'm trying to enlarge your Jerusalem. I'm trying to see increase into your Jerusalem. I'm trying to enlarge your tent. Enlarge your tent, spare not. And then lastly, God said, stretch out. Stop saying what you won't do so that God can show you what you can do through him. Stop saying what you won't do. He said, stretch out. Stretch out in your faith. Stretch out in your hope. Stretch out in your gifts. God is about to increase your Jerusalem. It's 9:09. I love y'all. I gotta go. I'll see you next week. I'm Pastor Kim.